Okay.
Hi, I'm Dan Vaida, Transylvanian actor that moved from Romania, Transylvania, to North America to pursue my career in film and TV and also theater. Today I want to cover a topic that's really controversial sometimes. It's about stage acting versus film acting. How different they are, how similar they are. Are they that different? Are they that similar? There's a lot of controversy out there about this, and here's my take. I've often heard they are like comparing apples to oranges. I think it's more like comparing oranges to grapefruits, and I think that's the best comparison because there are a lot of common things to both of them. And the first thing is, in both, you have to study the piece. You have to study the material you're working on. You're like a detective. You have to know the relationships between the characters. You have to know the political context of the era. Of course, you have to, if it's a modern piece, if it's a historic piece, you have to know the context, the socio-historical context, the cultural context, all those contexts around the play or the script of the movie. Then you have to also know the characters, the relationships between the characters, the internal conflicts of the characters. So there's a lot of research, there's a lot of detective work that an actor has to do in both theater, which means stage. By the way, a lot of people get confused in North America when I mention theater. Theater means live stage performance. Theater does not mean movies. Movies are different. So I hope that clears things out a bit. So that's about theater or movies. The research has to be done, and that's very common. Another very common thing is, as an actor, no matter what you act in movies or stage, you have to be in tune with your own thoughts, feelings, emotions. You're your own instrument. You have to be in tune with yourself. So that's also a huge requirement in both. It's a must-have in theater and also in movies. So there are two big commonalities. Then things that are different. Yes, in theater you have to use more of your voice. You need more projection. Of course, it's a different momentum. A theater play happens in sequence, but also when you're rehearsing, you're not necessarily rehearsing in sequence because you're not shooting a movie in sequence. So you're not rehearsing in sequence always. And with theater, again, you have to use your voice way more. So you know your diaphragm, your breathing, a lot of technical details on that. You have to be aware of the audience. It's also your scene partner in a way, so it's not just the actors you're on stage with, but also the audience. You have to engage the audience. It has to be interesting for them. And of course, there's the energy exchange with the audience that you don't necessarily have when you're filming a movie. It can be to a certain extent, so I wouldn't cut that out completely, but it's not as big for sure. And also there are some technical details. For example, when you're not facing the audience when you talk, you have to talk louder, you have to add more volume to your voice. So that's something you don't need to do in film because you have your mic, so that's all taken care of. What's different in film than versus stage? Of course, everything has to be contained. You can't be very dynamic, especially when the camera is very tight on you. It's everything in your eyes. So you have to be very truthful. But I think if you're not truthful, it doesn't matter. It can be stage, can be film. If you're not truthful, the audience will catch that. They can feel you. So in film, what's specific? It's the fact that you have to jump in a scene without any momentum. So you just have to do it. You have to deliver. I think the big challenge is for an actor who is used to doing only movies or TV to do stage. That it's challenging. And I think those are the guys, that's my opinion, I think those are the guys who say they are very different languages, let's say. But when you go from theater to film, it's much, much, much easier. That's my take on this. Thank you so much. Subscribe, like, share. See you next time.